Welcome to a mini episode of Beauty Business and Mind podcast, Pinterest and the holidays. I know it's barely June, but I literally just got off a webinar with Pinterest talking about the holidays and different information. I'm going to be sharing for all of my students, part of the PIN formula, a new module. It will be available there for you. So it doesn't matter whether you have lifetime access, which I know many of you do, or you just have the monthly access. You'll have access to that training from now on. I'm going to be recording that live today. So in this mini episode today, it's going to be under 6 minutes. I'm going to be talking about some of the information that we got on that webinar to really help you if you're utilizing Pinterest. Just some information that can really help you to be successful this holiday season. And I was surprised and shook just like you. Because I started thinking about the holidays myself. And I was like, my husband was laughing at me. He's like, oh my God, Celeste, really? And after this webinar, I was like, see, I am in tune with what people are doing. So we're going to be talking about Pinterest and your holidays, how to start thinking and planning for that season, and use different numbers information directly from Pinterest, the source. So I know that maybe some of you are thinking, like, how do I keep getting repeat customers? How do I stay top of mind for my clients? There's so much competition out there. How am I going to stand out during the holidays? When do I start, right? Those are the common questions that we have on there. And we all go through that, right? So today I'm really going to help you and guide you really quickly. Some things to really think about, okay? So did you know that there is Pinterest ads? So that is part of something that they do have. But today I'm going to be talking about more organic type of Pinterest and pinning, things to think about and things that have changed. So last year, it was 433 million monthly users that people were using Pinterest on, and that is around the world. Now it's 463 million people per month are using Pinterest, so it's starting to grow. And as many of us, we love creating, on Pinterest boards for our life. But also for the holidays and special occasions. So something really important to think about. And, some of the statistics that this comes from directly from Pinterest is that they are the number one place for weekly pinners, which means people that actually use Pinterest to plan their holiday and winter inspiration and planning source. So people are literally going on there to plan their winters and the holidays. So let's start thinking about that, right? Whether you have a service or a product, it doesn't matter what you work with business owners, to business owner, or you're a business owner working for consumer. This is the place where you want to be in talking about holidays. So going into that, I really wanted to share some of the information that we got on here. Did you know that pinners do spend more money than on other platforms? And that is very true. So myself, I'm not a person that buys things online all the time, but I've bought many things and opted into many things on Pinterest. And they also went into details about that 24% of pinners are more likely to shop Black Friday on Pinterest. Also, 120 of them more likely to shop Small Business Saturday. So for all my small business owners here, that is a big platform for that, okay? So having said that, let's go into some of the things that were really good and that we should start planning on for this holiday season, although we're in June. So it's just June. You're probably like, we're too early. Let's be real. People are starting to plan for the holidays now. So people, they were really talking about that we should really start pinning for the holidays in July. So if you have any type of holidays are your thing, you want to be attracting pinners for the holidays, July is really the month to really start doing so. So really start thinking about that. This year, they really talked about this, and I love this, and I want to share this insight with you, and I'm looking at the time. We have 2 more minutes left. They were really talking that the consumer mind shift has shifted from other years 2023 is going to be totally different ball game than the other years. And that is so good to know, because not just for Pinterest, but think overall, because Pinterest is not a social media platform, it's a visual search engine. Think about how that's going to affect also for all platforms. So the consumer, with everything going on, I'm not here to talk politics or what's going on around the world, but, with all the changes that we are experiencing currently in the US, the mind shift is starting to shift for the consumer, and they are really wanted to look for more value. So start thinking really about that. Like if you struggle with that and you haven't listened to the previous episode, I really go about content and just sharing value for your consumer in a different type of easy way to do so. You want to listen to this week's episode on that. But value is going to be very important this year more than ever. So be very mindful of that. Okay. So make sure you catch them early. And they had this really cool thing where they had this graph, and it showed that people are starting to actually start to plan, earlier this year. So it's really interesting about that. So if you want to go ahead and reach out your ideal clientele, make sure that you start out early. So you should really be starting right before, before the summer ends. So really think about holidays. If you're going to be posting for some type of holiday, you really want to think about 3 months ahead of time. And it's really important to do so in that. They have different things coming up. Like one of the things that are coming up is during their testing is the Premier Spotlight, which pretty much they feature a business or a Pinterest account for up to 24 hours on their main page. That's something new that they're going to be doing this year. So I did want to share that with you. So make sure that for this year that you really start pinning early, okay? People are starting to plan for their holidays and the winter early. So start pinning with purpose, early this year. Remember, Pinterest is a great destination for gift giving. Even if you want to build your email list, it's a great place to start doing so. And it's really not too early to start playing around with what is working and what's not. So I love using analytics. It doesn't matter whether it's Instagram or Pinterest, even my website. Analytics always gives you the information of what's working in your business. I can tell you what's working in mine, but we don't have the same clientele. We don't have the same end goal, right? I don't know what your end goal in your business is or in your life. Just like you probably don't know what the end goal of my business and my life is either. So that's why it's so important to rely on your analytics. See what is working. This is the time to start testing, to see, do videos do better for your audience? Do pictures do better for your audience? Long captions, short captions, what type of content is really driving sales, right? I always love to keep, this is part of my strategy. So I'll give you a hot tip as we end this episode today is I love to keep a note on my iPhone, and it just tells me like what kind of post did well. And for me, it's not about like, oh my gosh, I got 100 likes or whatever. It's really about like I got a lot of engagement. So people DM me, or we had conversations, like deep conversations behind the scenes about it, or it brought in clients. Like people actually booked me after I shared and showcased some type of content on the platform. So use your analytics for that. Remember, it's not too early. So this year, if you're going to be planning and pinning for the holidays on Pinterest, make sure that you start in July. If you want to start testing now to see what works on there for you, for your audience, and what's not working. I always love doing things ahead of time. And I really hope that this episode really helped you. Thank you so much for being here. I love hearing from you and connecting with you on the DMs at Celeste the Stylist. Feel free to DM me and let me know if this was helpful for you. And I will see you back here next week. Bye, love.